Hello, everybody.
Hi. Hi.
Welcome
Hi.
to this place. You know what? I think a better way to do this is to... better way for me to do this is actually just go like this. And then, since
We lost you.
you guys can see the window, I can go like this.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, never mind. That's not gonna
I'm
work.
not seeing anything happen.
That's not gonna work.
You can move yourself and you can just like sit on my shoulder. Wait, this shoulder. Hi.
Hello.
I'm doing ventriloquism.
So, you'll notice we're not doing our normal stream because Andrew and our brains are fried and we're both sick.
I'm fine.
Yep. And then Bentley's sick and got some stuff going on as well, so he'll probably be joining us later. So we're just gonna relax tonight and have
some fun.
just hang out for a bit.
Yeah.
This is literally just my desktop you're looking at with the two windows doing it. There's literally nothing fancy
Whoa.
going on with it.
No, that's extra fancy. 2 desktops. Because you got a
And
new monitor.
Yeah, I got a new monitor that's the wrong size, and so the wrong resolution, and so everything's all bloated on my left-hand side.
Ooh.
It's perfectly
It's
fine.
fine. It's
It'll
fine.
last me till I upgrade my monitor.
The denial.
Well, it's the second monitor. It's like you don't really need it to be that
it's
much.
the
Fair
one-
enough. Fair
It's
enough.
the one that I have my videos on full screen anyway.
I'd call it
Yeah.
my mini map monitor.
That's basically what it is.
A
It's not
mini
my
map
main
monitor.
monitor.
I'm gonna call mine that now. I like that. A mini map
But-
monitor.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are going to look at just people's published homebrews and see what we can find on there.
Wait, before we do that, I do have one announcement.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
No. All I have to say, and I want to say this on stream.
do tell.
Is
Go on.
All right, maybe I won't wish him a
Just
happy
kidding.
birthday. No, all I wanted to say is we have 2 birthdays this week before episodes. So happy birthday to Nikki, part of the Paragon stream, and a guest star on the Oddities. And also happy birthday to Gavin. You guys are awesome, and I love you both, even though one of them is a pain in my ass.
Yeah, Nikki. Oh
I
my
won't say
gosh.
I thought you
This
were fine.
I'm just kidding.
By the way, Andrew, we're going to Mom's on my birthday, so
Heck yeah. That means we're
Which
probably gonna
day?
have crab.
yeah, that's what we're having.
Heck yeah.
Which day?
You're not
Sourdough.
invited. You're not invited to my birthday party,
completely
Erica.
unrelated. Which NPC is your favorite so far?
Of which one?
Are we talking art style or are we talking just in general?
I'm talking in general, I suppose.
Like which
Okay.
which NPC is my my favorite to like
Mhm.
NPC
That we've
that
seen
is-
so far?
That is my favorite. My favorite one to, because it really depends on like favorite ones. My favorite one that I have fully written out is probably Lady Jane Devant, because I feel like she is like the most complex one, but to voice and to just role play as, I really like both Jedediah and Alexander. They're both really fun.
I love Alexander.
I love being Alexander Marshall.
He's a creep. I like it.
Mhm. Yeah. I
I
don't know. I'm
It's fun
partial.
and
I'm
unfun.
partial to the weird one-off characters. Like I love the doctor that we met in the last Paragon episode. It was so
Dr.
good.
Price.
I tried to keep a
Yes.
straight face and I couldn't. I lost it. I love Dr. Price. I love the gnome warlock that
Oh,
that got punched by the
by his own summon.
by his own summon. And then also even though we didn't even talk to him, I just love the image of a gnome with a bunny army on the side of the road.
Building an army.
But I'm a little partial to those ones, and then also like the really intense intimidation through wordplay kind of characters. Like Alexander.
That being said, another one of my favorites just might straight up be the Mortician. I love the
Oh, he's
Mortician.
terrifying.
I put in so much work into the Mortician.
I'm excited to see how that
Dude,
plays
if
out.
I ever
Mark.
wanted to draw him, all I'd have to do is do a smiley face.
And a bunch of bandages.
Because anything else would be spoilers.
You've seen him on the thing. He's got the wide brim hat with the
The
cloth.
bandages.
No, the
Yeah, or the
cloth,
cloth.
that comes down. Almost like, I would say, similar to like only going like covering his face, but like a beekeeper's
Right.
mask a little bit, but completely opaque.
Ah. I like. The second you said B, I was like, oh.
Oh, I like
B
Oh.
tier. I don't know.
Nice.
Being villains is tons of fun. A lot of my favorite NPCs, though, you guys haven't met yet.
Oh.
Ooh.
Like, you know of them, you just haven't met them. Like,
Oh.
you know of Akora, you guys haven't met Akora yet. And
Spoilers. Don't tell me. I don't know who Cora is.
the one who built the one who owns the company who
Oh
made
yeah.
the trains. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have a list of questions written down that I want to
Yeah,
ask you.
and then of course the Queen of Alabast is another one.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited for that.
Me too.
Queens are just so much fun.
Yeah, I'm
And
excited
I
for
might,
that.
I might
yeah,
have fun
and- and
drawing
the,
the queen. Like, yep.
In the Auroran Expounded episode about the Mountain Breaker, I totally didn't, use Melania, Blade of Mikola, as inspiration
nope.
for that.
Not at all.
She totally
I
doesn't
see.
have a prosthetic arm made.
It's just Ghost Mom.
No.
Yeah. No, Ghost Mom is. We've learned what happened to Ghost Mom.
Sleeping with the burnt fishies. Mafia style.
Wait, sleeping with the bird fishes. I have a habit of
Birds.
putting words together. So
Birds.
my brain went bishes.
The bishes. She's with the bishes.
Eeping
now.
with the bitches. No, she's straight up got turned into propane and propane accessories.
What?
Yeah,
Ghost,
yeah. That's...
Ghost thinks Ghost
Oh,
was
yeah.
intended to be this really epic vigilante of flames and stuff, but in reality she's just Hank Hill.
propane.
Oh, that's a clean bird.
Pocket sand.
All right, so shall we look at some homebrew?
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right, so
I didn't know we'd be brewing homes.
we got some spells, monsters,
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Magic
5,
items.
6, 7.
backgrounds, feats, subspecies, subclasses. Is there any one of those that pique your particular interest?
Roll a d6 on D&D Beyond.
Why not roll a d8 and just ignore it in an 8? Because
Oh, I was gonna say if you get a 6, then re-roll it.
there's 7 options.
I know. I had a different breakdown in my head, but we could do that too.
What do you mean if you get it? I'm so confused.
I was gonna assign 2 of them to a 6 and then roll it again, and then. I love the dumbfounded look on your face. Just compute. Either way works.
I'm gonna
roll
go.
a T8.
I have to go to one of my character sheets to do it. So most of these are.
Go to Bjorn.
Most of these are there. No, so you got most of these are my experimental characters or one-shot ones. There's Bjorn. I have my DM PCs there as well. Here's all the singing willows. Sarah's, Isha.
Yeah, I'm too scared to read any of
Ceres.
these. Oh, Atuk, rest in peace.
There's Agdane. There's my wizard who died. But
Oh.
let's go to my current character in a campaign that's being run. We're gonna go to Zeno, my Thrycreen gunslinger.
I love him so much. He's basically just Deadpool.
All right, gonna roll
Very
a
similar vibe.
D8.
Oh.
Roll to everyone. That is a
We're
1.
going to do spells.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Browse spells. Okay. So
I got
here's
it
what we're
real
gonna
fast.
do. So we have all these things. We can keep them just a little bit random, or we can filter them by views or ratings, and we can start at low ratings, or we could just go and look at, just see what we find, just go through randomly, see which one catches our eye. Because I noticed this top one has -6 points.
Wait, is it by like recent or is it?
I believe by default it's by recent.
Yeah, it's recent. If you look at the dates, you can see it on there.
No?
Oh my gosh.
Look, 10-4, 10-2,
Two.
9-24, 9-21,
And then
9-25.
625, 99.
Oh, that's 625. I can't see it very well in here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's random because there's a 1021 down there. Yeah, let's just go down the list here and see what it says.
Well,
Prediction.
All right, so this is -6 points by Grimtaker18. Let's see. Takes 2 minutes to cast. 20
Right.
feet, 30 foot. Okay, you can go up to 20 feet away in a 30-foot cube. It's verbal and somatic. It lasts for 20 rounds. That's
That's a lot.
That's interesting.
2 minutes.
Attack
Wait.
save, intelligence
So,
save.
so it takes 2 minutes and then it lasts 2 minutes, is what it's saying?
No, yes. Casting,
Okay.
It takes 2 minutes to cast.
Then
DC
last
14 wisdom check to cast. So you could just fail the casting of this. It's a 3rd level
Right.
spell slot. If successful, the caster takes advantage on all attack rolls and opponent takes disadvantage. All damage is double until spell ends.
Oh, what the heck? Huh. It's
Alright.
basically like taking Atium that is like forcing your enemy to drink bleach too.
Huh.
So here's what I would change with that one. I would
Not put it in my game.
not put it in there.
For doubling all damage, giving yourself advantage on everything. What if you're
That's-
this is a 3rd level spell? What if you're a rogue, an arcane trickster rogue that has access to 3rd level spells?
Right. And then you're just doubling,
Advantage on all attack rolls and all your
which means
damage.
guaranteed sneak attack if you hit, and you're doing double sneak attack.
Okay.
So you know, what is that? You're rolling 20d6 there.
Okay.
Plus
It's like
your d8.
and it's like, all right. So I do want to be somewhat constructive. First things
Okay.
first. You should not have to make a skill check to cast any spells. You're already consuming a resource.
Yeah.
There should never be a chance other than like a spell attack missing, or the only way your spell should fail is if you miss the attack or the enemy saves. So
Right.
I would definitely get rid of that. The
Yeah, I
caster
would get rid of
takes-
the cast, and if you were to do it, it should be the effect on the other person. If you're gonna do any save, it should be a save. Like they have to make a save.
Yeah, and it looks like they do have to make an intelligence saving throw for it.
Oh, okay. They just didn't write it in.
Yeah. And so I actually like this prediction. You're predicting what the enemy is doing. So yes, but I think it would say you need to be a little bit more specific. You have advantage on attack rolls against them, and they have disadvantage on attack rolls against you specifically. They shouldn't have disadvantage on all things, which I think is what you're going for. If you were to do that, then that would be like really, that would be like a really cool.
Also, I would get rid of the double damage thing. There shouldn't be any double damage.
Yeah, they shouldn't be taking more injury from doing that.
Just having a guaranteed advantage attack and they get disadvantage on you.
Yeah.
That right there is super overpowered.
Yeah. Now, what I would do, change the casting time to a full action rather than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Which I think is what they're going, and do not have it be an area of effect spell. This should be
single target.
I would say lower it down to a second level. Make it require concentration. Make it require concentration. Lower it down to a second level one and make it only last 10 rounds. So that way you can have this really cool thing where, let's say you're a Eldritch Knight fighter. Actually, in fact, I think I would still keep it at third level because
I would still do third level.
Third level, but you're
10 rounds of advantage is pretty crazy.
Yeah, but I'm
like, I wouldn't be opposed to doing fourth level, honestly.
Yeah, but even fourth level is doing it. But yeah,
I probably would keep it as a fourth level.
All in all, I think I see the idea that they were going for. It just doesn't land.
Right.
But the thought behind it, though, I could see that could be really, really cool. Like,
it could be flavored pretty dope too.
mean, and honestly, that gives, because divination
that makes me think of Brandon Sanderson books.
Yeah, it makes me think of ATM. Like
exactly.
You said. And it's like, that's actually really cool. Like, I love the idea behind this. It's just the execution isn't there, which is probably this person's first thing, or they're relatively new to this. It's like, it's there. It's just a little bit too much.
It's a lot of it too much.
Yeah, it's
which is okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much, but the idea behind it is awesome, and I love the idea of giving divination a much more useful spell in combat, because divination does not get a lot of combat.
It's a lot of more like role play out of combat. So, and lots of it could be really cool, but I think it would be cool to give it.
I feel like this is a
really
cool creative way to do it. It's just the execution wasn't quite there, but I love the idea of it.
All right, next one.
All right, are we just going down the list, or are we going to?
Let's do it. This is by the same person. Let's see what he did.
All right,
for the next one.
He's in the positive for this one at one point.
Right.
All right, so Storm Summon. This is a 5th level by Grimtaker.
All right.
Duration 10 minutes. Another casting time of 2 minutes, and it's a ritual. Okay. It's a con save, School of Conjuration. 100 foot area, but it's a 5th level. It's a 5th level spell, so that's
right. That's pretty standard. Yeah. I mean, Call Lightning's 100 feet.
Cone of Cold is also really far.
Right.
Let's see.
It lasts 10 minutes concentration. Requires a con save.
Creates a storm that surrounds 20 spaces and a circle of lightning for 10 minutes. Every turn does 2d6 lightning damage to
every
whoever.
2 turns.
Every 2 turns does 2d6 lightning damage to whomever the caster wants. 40-foot blind sight to every except the caster till the spell ends. So everybody can see while being blinded except the caster, according to rules as written.
40 foot blind sight.
Okay. I see. I see what
Honestly,
you want to do, but
just stick with Call Lightning.
Yeah,
I think this is a
this is a Call Lightning. You took Call Lightning and Cloud Kill and put them together.
yeah. I would just stick with Call Lightning.
Yeah, just stick with Call Lightning.
I don't think we need to spend too much on this. Spell.
Yeah, I would say
yeah.
on this one, I would just say I think what you want to accomplish in the game has already been done by the game itself. All right. I can't even read what this.
Why would you use it? It lasts 29,220 days. It's a bonus action to cast.
To cast, one must say, "Do you know who else suffers from severe schizophrenia?" in Muscle Man's voice while Blair Witching in a corner. When casted on any creature, that creature now suffers from a very serious case of schizophrenia. Hope you're happy, you monster. Castable by bards, clerics, and druids.
You just wait 20 foot away, stare at him from a corner, and it lasts for 29,220 days. That's what that says, right?
Yep. Well, all right. I don't have any complaints about this one. This one's great.
So they just have schizophrenia for the rest of their life. Got it.
I mean, I would probably just go like an even 29,222 days, but that's just me.
29,220 days is even.
No, that's what I'm saying. I would do an even.
Oh yeah, just to give it a little buff.
Yeah, just I think they were selling themselves a little short there. You just gotta give it a 2-day extra buff.
Now this is one that I saw that I was excited to go. Domain expansion.
Ooh.
Speaking of which, Andrew, our little brother, so Deacon was showing me a bunch of memes about this, of people taking other characters and doing their domain expansions. Because, I mean, there are a few things cooler I've seen in animation than Sukuna just going, Malevolent Shrine. Like, it's so good.
Right.
It's so good. But Deacon was showing me things like, domain expansion, clubhouse. Domain expansion, Swamp of Serenity.
You know, I love that kind of stuff. Yeah. From JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
I'm glad we only have 2 viewers right now, because if we had a bunch of viewers, we would probably get canceled for you saying that.
No, I do like jujitsu. It's awesome.
All right, but
no, I've been seeing a lot of them. Like when I was on TikTok, it just like, what would you call this domain? And it had like the really epic anime music with the and just like a really cool artwork out in space or like random things. And I'm like, ooh, these are cool. I love this kind of stuff. Anyways, let's see what it says.
So this is actually a really well thought out one. All right, so it's 7th level, takes an action, but
pretty high.
But it takes an action, or you can cast it as a ritual. Conjuration lasts 5 minutes. It is a 200-foot area, and all that stuff. And there is, I actually like that. There's no attack or save rolls, because remember, domain expansion, your attacks are guaranteed. Are guaranteed to land unless you know certain tricks.
Right.
Like throwing the simple domain around you, which is basically a mini domain right around your body. All right. So placing your hands together and muttering the words domain expansion, you conjure a spherical impenetrable barrier 200 feet in radius, centered on your location at the moment of casting. Any attempt to enter or exit this barrier requires you to succeed on a DC 25 strength check. Because yes, that guy did break in through nothing but brute strength.
It's true.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Freaking. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It wasn't Toto. It wasn't Toto. Toto wasn't the one that broke in.
I chose a fun time to tune back in.
Yeah. It wasn't Toto. All right. This domain lasts until the duration ends. You dispel it with a bonus action. Nobody except you is in the domain, or someone casts domain expansion with a higher level in spell slots. Ooh, they thought about
I like
it.
that.
See material
Yeah.
components, and it overlaps your domain. Consult the following table to check how long your domain lasts when this happens. Duration ends, dispelled, or only you are in the domain immediately. No difference in spell slots. Both domains overlap. Dispelling one will dispel the other.
Interesting. So it's like a counter spell for a domain.
Yes. A 1 to 5 spell slot difference. The weaker domain ends 3 turns after the newest domain is casted. So we're going up into hero level things where you're going beyond level 20.
Yeah. You
All
have
right.
to be.
Six,
Unless it's talking about like if you're consuming multiple spell slots to do it.
that might be.
If it's like, oh, I'm gonna get rid of a 7th, a 6th, and a 5th kind of a thing.
That might be a thing. Yeah. There we go. And 1 to 5, the weaker domain ends 3 turns after the newest domain is casted. 6 to 10, the weaker domain ends 1 turn after the newest domain is casted. And above 10, the weaker domain is immediately dispelled. You can imbue the space with a barrier, the space within a barrier with a prepared spell of 3rd level or lower, targeting everything within the barrier with the exception of you and designated non-targets, with the imbued spell every turn. Spells that deal damage in this manner do all damage rolls with disadvantage and ignore AC and ability saves, and will be casted with a level 3 spell slot if possible. If the spell affects an area, the area is centered on the target. If the spell summons hostile creatures or creates harmful objects or traps, they appear as close as possible to the targets and attack it. If the spell requires concentration, it lasts until the end of its full duration or until the end of the domain expansion. At higher levels, at level 8, you can imbue multiple spells in domain as long as their total levels add up to 4. Cantrips count as 1. At level 9, the size of the domain increases to 2100, and the total level for the spells rises to 5, but no strength check is required to enter or exit the domain. So you go, you do the no barrier, you just manifest it. Casting the spell as a ritual automatically increases its level to 9, and the duration becomes 10 minutes. A lot of...
Personally, if I were to do this one and include it, I would not allow for a ritual cast of that at all. No free cast of a domain expansion. It's too overpowered to allow for a ritual cast.
But I mean, a ritual is still 11 minutes, so it's like you're not going to surprise anybody with it.
When it's 2,100 feet, yes, you do.
Oh yeah, when it's 2,100 feet, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Okay.
Even at 200 feet, you could still do it.
I would say there's a lot of thought put into this. But I don't think I'd ever put this into my game, even if I was running like a Jujutsu Kaisen themed game. Mm-hmm. This specific iteration, because it's just a little bit too complex.
And it lasts just a little too long.
It's lore accurate, don't get me wrong, but for D&D mechanics, it's a bit too complex. It's going to bog down...
Flavor-wise, it's awesome, but the mechanics are...
It's going to bog down. It's going to take combat to a screeching halt. And depending on what you're fighting, it could be an instant win button.
Well, an instant win or an instant, all right, you don't get any cool spells because they have to do it to negate it. And if they don't negate it, they're stuck in there for 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I love the flavor of it, especially because I love the show.
Yeah.
But the mechanics of it, I don't see it playing out too well.
Yeah. It doesn't you did a really good job translating the lore of it and doing it as best you can into D&D. But man, do I
hear some epic music in my head right now thinking about it.
But it just, the translation to D&D, it just doesn't lend itself mechanically to how D&D works.
Right.
Maybe it would be better in that more superhero themed one, the I can't remember what it's called. It's called like Heroes and stuff. It's the one that Puffin Forrest made a video on where he's like, Chadwick Strong Pants. You remember that one? Whatever that game is.
Right. I could see Cosmos. Her domain expansion would just be Cosmos.
No, I know what her domain expansion would be. Domain
Muffin
expansion,
Land.
the Blood Pits, and it's the arena she was forced to fight in.
No, it would be what's it called? Domain expansion, Yeast. Yeast Rise.
Yeast Lords.
Let the
Oh my
that's also
gosh.
awesome, but I was
Domain
thinking like Yeast Rising.
The bakery of your nightmares.
All right. We're taking. Okay, we are going to take a little bit of a go off on a little bit of a tangent here, and we need to discuss what the characters' domain expansions would be.
Okay.
Cosmos
Alright,
so-
would be a bakery.
I feel like Wayne's would be a dragon's horde, just straight up a dragon's horde.
Ooh.
Are you kidding me? No, I think it'd be a library.
A
Just like
dragon's
in one
horde
of
can
those-
be a library.
I think it'd be like one of those endless libraries kind of thing, where it's just like
like
never
a mirror,
ending hallways.
like
one of the mirror
things.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it would be
Oh.
with Wayne.
Now, what would you call it though? Wayne would just be like domain expansion.
Domain of knowledge. I don't know.
n-
Never-ending
knowledge.
knowledge.
domain expansion.
Infinite knowledge.
Um,
Knowledge is power.
Arcanum. I don't know.
no.
I definitely didn't steal that from Brandon Sanderson. He's not on my mind still.
Domain. You basically just be like domain expansion. Records of Bahamut.
Ooh.
No. Alright. Domain expansion. Academy. I think it'd just be one word. Is
Academy.
I like the domain expansion academy. Probably just something like that. I like the one word ones.
I like the 1 or 2 word ones. I think I know what Amelia's would be. Domain expansion, Frozen Hourglass.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
And it just there's a still image of everything. It has like a frost effect and everything's just frozen. But like frozen in time and it looks chilled.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
And then
It's almost like a still image of the world around them kind of a thing.
VV's would be expansion. Mischievous
Cousin.
concert.
Mischievous concert.
Chaotic concert. And it's like a symphony hall of just music and instruments.
Nice. Yeah.
I feel like his would be a little more chaotic.
No,
Less
but
pretty. Like
No, but like a weird, twisted Feywild version of it.
yes, there we go.
Mm.
Yep.
So it's like you're on an acid trip the whole time you're in there.
Yeah. And there's like 40 princesses running around.
Yes, and they're all like different sizes.
Right.
Wow.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Ardavons.
Domain expansion. Redemption.
Ooh.
Just call it that. And I don't know. You're sitting there in the
It looked like a city being rebuilt.
Ooh. Fun.
so wholesome. Yeah, he brings you there to kill you. It can still be pretty.
Ooh.
Ghost would
And then
be pretty
Cosmo.
obvious.
Well, let's wait. What would Cosmos be first? Oh no, we already talked about it.
Yeah.
It'd be
Well,
Muffin
at
Land.
first I was thinking of a bakery, but now I'm actually thinking about her mindscape.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the salt flats and everything.
Yeah, and
Ooh.
Pugna. And I would be
And
like,
you would
it
Pudna
like,
would be there for sure.
I don't know. desert of bargaining or something like that.
No, domain expansion, survival instinct.
Yeah, perfect. That's perfect.
There we go.
Yeah,
I like that. That's good.
Yes, survival instinct. That would go in line with both the Mindscape and the pit.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm definitely not choking up thinking about that episode.
You're okay. It's just Gavin and I worked together. It was mostly Gavin to make you all cry.
Yeah, the fact that I'm like trying to choke back right now or not. Okay, next. Next. I just
Break
a lot of
out.
memories are.
Oh, wait,
a
no.
lot
it
of,
was
a
depressing.
lot of memories of your memories are flooding back into my memories.
Raycos's would just be the Rune Forge.
Ooh.
I had something else in mind, but I don't want to say it because spoiler. So yeah, sure.
Yeah, you know Ghost Steel, so hers is pretty obvious.
The bonfire.
Domain of Cinders. Or the bonfire.
And it would just be like a burnt hellscape, which would look super dope.
With the with the centerpiece being somebody being burned at the stake.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or
And it's
just
like,
a burning
but it's like,
mansion.
well, it could be like there could be a mansion and like that, but then also like the ground is all black and charred, and the trees are all burnt and charred. There's embers and ash falling from the sky.
Yeah,
like
and
all
there was a fountain in front of the mansion, so instead of water, it's just magma.
Right.
It's a lava fountain. It's cool. I swear.
She turned on creative.
You know what's funny? I was thinking about that too.
See, Badgers would be Hall of Statues.
You don't have an iron bucket. You cheated.
Badgers would be Hall of Statues, and because he's incredibly fast and makes the statues, it's just a hall full of weeping angels.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
All
I
from
love
different
that.
style of rocks.
We don't know enough about Belden yet to make an educated guess on it.
But we can make a fun guess. I think that whatever it is, it would be like intricate clockwork kind of stuff with a lot of gem embezzlements around.
The domain expansion clock tower, and you're in the inner workings of a giant clock.
With a lot of gems inlaid into like the golden gears
Yes.
kind of a thing. That's kind of my vibe that I picture with Belden so
That
far.
would be awesome. We need to tell Bentley if he gets on.
Yeah, when he gets on.
When he gets on.
Yeah.
Ah. I knew you'd do that.
And
Oh
then-
wait, I was on camera? Oh, that's so embarrassing. I didn't do that on
what'd you
purpose.
think? And then the last one, PAX.
Not the last one, we got two more.
Oh yeah, PAX and Mira.
So, yeah.
Tax domain expansion. 3 business months. 2 to 3 business months. No.
You could have him do something with like Chronalis kind of a thing, but
Yeah.
I'm like, he was more thrown into that. I don't know if that
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
like his thing.
I just
No.
said it for the sake of a joke. It should
Right.
be more like, ooh.
Honestly, his would probably
I
just
don't
end up
know.
being a war zone.
Yeah.
Gilded
Yeah.
Warpath.
Black Gate.
Ooh.
Call it that.
Ooh, yes.
And it's just like the Warshorn thing with one giant black gate into the abyss.
Ooh, yeah.
And then Mira. Hmm.
Hmm.
Probably be a lot of cell phones and a bunch of
New age.
it's all
Age.
new age stuff.
New
I heard it's
age.
pretty lit. It's fire. Is that something she says? I don't know the
She better
terms.
say it around ghosts.
All right. Back to some spells then. We've been streaming for almost an hour. We've looked at 4.
We were almost done with the whole list. We're not ending until we get to the very bottom.
Oh.
All what? 30,000?
There's 8,134 pages.
And how many are there per page? That many? All right, so
Yeah, I'm
probably
not
like
gonna
another
count.
hour or two, and then we'll get there.
All right.
You just gotta read at auctioneer speed.
Next
Right.
one is a pretty highly rated one with 12 points. Executive dysfunction.
You
I
just
like
give
the
him
sound of that.
ADHD.
So
I
it's
like the
second
sound.
level.
Wayne practices this every day.
It's a 60-foot range, 1 action, second level, lasts for a minute, and it's an intelligence save. You send a burst of psychic energy at one creature you can see within range. The target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 2d6 plus 1d4 psychic damage, cannot cast spells that require concentration, and if currently concentrating on a spell, loses concentration.
Okay.
Moreover, each time the target uses an action, reaction, or bonus action, it takes 1d4 psychic damage. On a successful save, the target takes half damage and suffers none of the spell's other effects. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Shiny. If you roll the same number on both d6s, the target must subtract the number rolled on the d4 from its initial saving throw.
What does it mean by shiny?
I think it was supposed
Okay.
to be like a text. Like a
Oh, okay,
text
okay.
command.
Oh, okay.
At higher levels, when you cast a spell using spell slot 3rd level or higher, add 1d4 damage taken on an action, reaction, or bonus action for each level above 2nd.
The fact that you taking damage from action, bonus action, and reaction, and they lose concentration and can't maintain concentration. Personally, what I would do is rather than changing the effects of the spell, I would bump it up. Instead of being a 2nd level, I would bump it up to like a 5th or 6th level one, and then increase the initial damage of it to like 4 or 5d6, and then have that 1d4, because 1d4 every time you take an action, bonus action, and reaction is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's going to add up really fast.
So I would,
And-
so I would make it a higher cast, and because I like the effects of it, but 2nd level is just a little overpowered.
Yeah, or if you want to keep it at 2nd level, what I would do is
And only let don't let half
yeah, I
casters
would
get
say-
access to it.
Yeah, I would say just be D4 on an action. If you want to keep it at the 2nd level, D4 on an action. And then the concentration thing, I would say have the concentration thing on spells that are only equal to or less than the level of the spell that you cast it at.
I like that, because then it's like, all right, I can't concentrate on a 1st level. I can't concentrate on a 2nd level.
But I can on a 3rd level.
Yeah, if we were going to keep it at 2nd level, I think that would be a fair trade-off. And then also that encourages you to upcast it too.
Yes, and it also makes it so counterspell isn't completely useless on most things.
Right.
But overall, the really solid foundation. You either just got to bump up that spell level, or nerf the effect a little bit to keep it at 2nd level. But it's
Also, let's see. It's a burst of psychic energy. Okay, never mind then. No, I wouldn't add that. I was thinking about like making it like if they could hear it or things, but I'm like, nah. It's a psychic burst. You don't need it.
there. All right, invisibility as a cantrip.
As a cantrip,
It's in quotes.
one bonus action.
Wait, hold on. Cantrip, one bonus action, itself, duration 10 minutes, School of Illusion. When you cast this spell, you cover your face with your hands and repeat the phrase, I'm invisible. Any creature attempting to see you or make an attack against you must roll a wisdom or intelligence check against your intimidation or performance modifier. If the creature fails, you become invisible to that creature. If the creature succeeds, that creature can see you and gains advantage on any attack rolls against you while the spell is active. The spell cannot be detected with detect magic or similar spells. All spells that reveal hidden objects or removes invisibility has no effect on the spell. You're just telling them. This is a cantrip, but you're just telling them that they can't see you. And you're trying to convince them. Oh my gosh.
You can't see me.
I can see why this got so many. This has so many points.
Dude, that's something that I'd be like, all right, my level or my 6 intelligence orc fighter is trying to cast a spell.
Yeah.
You can't see me.
This one we won't get because it's a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure thing. So.
Oh, we can skip it.
Yeah.
Kill
Steal. It's a ritual. 9th level, 1 action or ritual. Self, verbal, and material. It lasts 24 hours. It's evocation. There's no save. You call upon the gods and offer them a gemstone in exchange for divine assistance in battle. For the next 24 hours, whenever someone you can see is about to kill or incapacitate an enemy, the god you requested assistance from smites the enemy seconds before the killing, incapacitating blow is dealt. And you get all the experience.
You get all the experience.
It's a 9th level spell. You don't need experience by that point. Oh my gosh.
I'm only level 17.
Okay.
I got 3 more levels to go.
Okay. This is really funny. Don't get me wrong. But let's think about the implications of this. You have to cast a 9th level spell to kill steal somebody. Rather than, I don't know, using your 9th level spell on power word kill to kill steal. So that's a thing you can do. But here's the thing. You steal the kill so you get all the experience. What crappy DM, and I'm fully confident in saying this, is giving out different things of experience to the different players at the party? What, is the fighter and the wizard just going to be god tier level while the cleric who made the mistake of being a life domain cleric is stuck at level 2 for the whole campaign?
Sorry, you chose to be a healer. You don't get a level up.
Yeah, you didn't. Only the person that gets the killing blow gets the experience. I can't see any possible problems arising at the table from that. That won't cause any drama or issues between players.
Nope, not at all. Not one.
And by that stretch of the imagination, our home
Although
game...
I still think it's funny, though.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But in our home game, Sean's homunculus would probably be at least a level 5 fighter by now.
I know. Freaking 1d4 damage and still getting the kills.
Yep. On big boss monsters. Alright, here we go.
So good.
Kinetic Cannon, 3rd level, costs an action. It's 180-foot range.
Okay.
It is
I really
verbal,
like the name
somatic,
of it.
and the material. There is no attack or save. Okay, that's interesting. Damage, effect, force. Okay. Alright, you reduce the object used for the casting the spell to raw matter and energy, and blast it towards a creature within range. The target must succeed a strength saving throw. Oh, so there is an attack save.
Oh, okay, they just didn't put it on there. Yeah.
On a failed save, the target takes 8d6 force damage and is pushed 15 feet directly away from you, and is knocked prone. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and suffers no additional effects. At higher levels, when you cast the spell with a spell slot of 4th level or higher, the damage increases by 1d6, and the distance the target is pushed increases by 5 feet for each slot above 3rd level. I really like this idea.
Honestly,
but here's my one thing. We got to get more damage.
That's what I was gonna say.
This is a single target thing, because Fireball, a thing of the same level, why would I use this instead of Fireball? Because
where I can do 8d6 to everybody.
To everybody. Granted,
the only difference is sure, I can cast it 60 feet further,
and it's like, and yes, they are also pushed away and knocked prone. But that's
you're doing that
that's
from
rectified.
180 feet.
That's rectified on their next turn.
Yeah,
and things are going to succeed on strength saving throws all the time because a lot of high level monsters are strong.
Right. I do minimum 8d8.
I do minimum 8d. Honestly, I would actually just go. I would actually just go all the way. Well, what are some single target? What are some single target third level spells? Let's see.
Well, if you upcast Guiding Bolt at that level, I think that would be, so it goes from 4d6, 5d6, 66 at third level. Guiding Bolt at third level.
Yeah, but I'm gonna see. Night Grove, Sleet Storm. There's not really that many single target.
And what if Inflict Wounds? What is that? 5d10 at third level, and that's a touch spell.
Yeah, but the thing to do is those ones are more likely to land because they're attack rolls.
Versus, especially a strength save. Those are some of the easiest ones. Like when fighting most monsters, that's the more prevalent, easy one to succeed on.
Yeah, so it's going to be 5d10 at third level. So for this one, I would say I would probably do... I'd probably just up the dice a little bit. Me personally, I think rather than doing 8d6, I think probably do maybe like probably 8d8. Just to bump it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'd probably do 8d8. I think that's a good increase.
Just because it's single target, it should have the higher effect of it. That being said, I don't want to make I don't want to make it too high, because if you're
then it's the only one that's going to get used.
Yeah, you don't want that, and this thing, even as is, depending on what your DM throws at you, can be a boss killer, and you can and you do have really good safety when you're doing it,
especially because if they are weak at strength and you're far away and you get an attack and you can keep distance, if its movement speed isn't that good, you're decreasing its speed by half each turn.
I would also decrease the range to 120 feet, because I'd say
what Guiding Bolt is.
Yeah, for like almost all spells, you shouldn't be getting for pretty much any attack, you shouldn't be getting a range like this unless you have feats to support it and you're building for that.
Fireball is 150 feet.
Yes, but that's once again, that's an AoE thing.
Yeah, 150 feet.
I'm looking at this at the context, because I'm looking at this at the context of because that's balanced by the thing. Fireball is balanced by the need of, my allies need to be up close to the thing too, so I can't just do that. And so,
and then Guiding Bolt is 120 feet. Because I'd be fine with 120 or 180 personally. I would rather do 120, but if it was 180, I wouldn't complain.
Yeah, it's not egregious, but I just think 120 is a bit more balanced.
Yeah.
But especially
if you're doing that 8d8.
But honestly, at this point, these are nitpicks. Like, this is just...
and I love the thematic.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that it's doing force damage is pretty busted.
Yeah, honestly, this is just... Other than those two things we brought up are more nitpicks than anything. This spell is fantastic. I'm giving it a... Yeah, I'm actually...
give it a vote.
Yeah. I might take it and edit it a little bit and start adding it to my games. Bump it up to the 8d8.
I like it.
Yeah, I really like that. All right. We have a cantrip called Melding. Oh, that's my Arc 1002. That's right. I've been forgetting to do that. Platyboss. He's got Psyduck. So I got high hopes.
He also did kill still.
Yeah. So this is Melding. Transmutation, cantrip, all the things with it. Let's see. You touch 2 non-living pieces of matter and fuse them together. This works in the same way mending does in the repairing a material aspect, so you could use this in place of it on constructs for healing, provided you can touch both parts of the construct with one hand. Once an item is melded, it cannot be demelded except through brute force and spells that dispel magic and prevent magic from working. The amount of objects you can meld together in one action increases to 3 at level 5, 4 at level 11, 5 at level 17. That is awesome.
I don't think I would I don't know if I would increase the amount that you could meld to it, but just imagine the amount of shenanigans that Vivi would get up to if he had
where it's like no offense, Andrew, I think I wouldn't think anything of it with this in your repertoire, but if we gave this to Sean, I'd be terrified.
Yeah.
But
it's like, oh, did you tie my shoelaces together? No, I melded them. They are one now. Yes. You have one shoelace.
The other thing I would do,
it has to be non-living. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it has to be non-living. But that being said,
oh my gosh, what if we melded all of Cosmo's axes into one giant axe?
No. But here's the thing. Here's where it gets. Here's where it can get pretty busted, though.
Yeah.
Non-living object.
Non-living pieces of matter.
Non-living pieces of matter. So let's say your DM was to rule this. Your DM was to rule constructs. Rule constructs like golems. Like take the stone golem, for example. Would that count as it? And could you grab it and grab the ground and meld him to the ground? Because on one hand, I think it purely depends on the campaign you're playing as, because that is really strong, especially for a cantrip, but cantrips get really strong later on anyway. I mean, look at Eldritch Blast, it gets insane.
Right.
And so it's really strong, and so, but same time, you're only using it on constructs, and which is not a super common enemy type in most campaigns.
Well, it also says that except through brute force. So I would if you could add a strength save for that.
Probably just against your spell save.
Right, but yeah, so you can probably just do a strength save against the spell save to see if you can break through it. Yeah. So that right there, it gives you a way to get out of those scenarios.
Yeah, with you.
I would probably also say inorganic, non-living,
inanimate. Inanimate is probably
inanimate objects. Yeah, can be used on constructs in lieu of
mending to heal it, but
as far as like mending it, like melding things together, kind of a thing, I would probably roll either inanimate or inorganic material.
Yeah.
So then that way you could still use it against constructs, because I like the idea.
I like the idea of it.
If they have an option to break out, I think it's a fun little thing.
I would say that's up to the DM, but
you're using your action to do it. It's like yeah, sure, it's a cantrip, but it's an action to do it that you could be casting a big spell to kill it. You know?
Yeah. I really like this one.
You have to be in their face to cast it as well.
Yeah.
Which means if you do that and try and run, they get an opportunity attack as well. Yeah. So I think it'd be a fun one. I like it.
I really like that one. Add to collection.
Erica, if you had that spell, what would be the first thing that you meld together?
Wait, what spell? I'm sorry. I've been discussing things with people to scheme, and while I was doing that, I was sketching out a horror thing for some reason. So I've got this doll thing promptly
see?
forgot
Can
I
we-
had
How
the
dare
doll
you?
thing,
How dare
and
you?
then I proceeded to scare myself.
How dare you
You're
work
just
on
having-
the work on
you're
the
having
stuff
your own
we're
little
paying you to
one-shot in
do?
your own head over there.
I'm not working on the stuff you're paying me
Oh.
to do, though.
No, you're just having your own little one shot in your head over there. Your little side adventure.
If you could call this a side adventure.
All right.
Is it the surprise or is it a different thing?
It's different. I was
Can I
waiting for
see?
answers for the surprise.
Ah.
So I ended up.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. This one's by BenLord55. It's called Peep the Horrors, bro. It's a ritual.
The horrors.
3rd level. Hold out your hand as if you're presenting something and say, "Peep the horrors, bro," after which a target is locked in a trance where mental illusions surround the target. The
And what does that
material
mean?
the material component is any scary-like object. I think it just frightens
Hey,
them.
this could.
It just frightens them.
Oh yeah, it just frightens them. Yep.
All right.
Keep the horrors.
I feel like this
bro.
one's just, this guy was bored and he thought it was funny.
Yeah.
If I could meld things to answer your question, Andrew, Cosmo
Yes.
would probably want to meld her axes together.
But the question is, would you have them like this so they're going down, or would you stack them like this so you have a really long
No.
one?
You attach them together at the butts, so you throw them all out at once.
Oh my gosh! Yes, it's a giant ninja star of axes. Ah!
Just doing the cool spinning, and it's just
Right.
a wheel of death.
That is one heavy weapon, though.
All
she
right.
can carry it. She's strong.
Okay, let's see. Send you back to hell. 6th level. Requires an action. Range 35 feet. That is really random.
That is really random, yeah.
All right.
Why not just 30?
Sends a demon or devil back to the layer of the 9 hells that it came from. Any fiend that can hear you must succeed a wisdom saving throw. If not, they get sent back to the layer they are originally from. Every level above 5th makes it so you can target more than one fiend. 6, 2 fiends, 7, 3 fiends, 8, 4 fiends, 9th, 6 fiends. Okay.
Morphines?
I would say, personally, the game...
Why are you trying to scare me, Erica?
The game... So, the game...
I was saying like, oh, someone sent me a message.
Yeah, so
Told you.
the game already accomplishes this.
I love it.
This is just banishment, but more restricted.
Honestly, yeah.
I feel like this one is a little bit too specific, but it's also, I don't know, I'm not a big...
I don't really like it just because a lot of it, like even with Banish, like it's cool, and I like Banish if they're from the same plane. But personally, when I look at it, it's like, oh, here's this encounter. I don't want to play it.
Yeah, but the thing is,
that's kind of the vibe that any Banish.
The thing is
with
with Banish, though, in order to permanently banish him, you have to concentrate on a minute before it goes.
Right.
So they have a chance to come back if their buddies manage to get them back. And so
right.
I'm a huge banishment advocate. I love banishment. This just seems like a little, I know it's 6th level, but especially if you're fighting fiends when you have the 6th level spells, it's just like, I don't know, because you get your 6th level spells at level 11. And so like, let's say you're playing, let's put it in Baldur's Gate. We're almost level 11 Baldur's Gate, Andrew.
Yeah.
If Raphael decided that he wanted to kill us, and we can just instantly go, oh, you failed a wisdom save, you're just back in your layer of hell, and you have to come back for us.
The only scenario where I think this would be cool is if you're playing a kind of campaign, kind of like you're on the front lines of the Black Gates kind of a thing, where you're fighting hordes of fiends. Okay. So it's like if you're, but once again, if you're constantly doing a big group of things, then they would get old. And then when you're doing it in those unique scenarios, and if you could target the scariest ones and do it, it's like honestly, I feel like that's saying to the DM, I don't like your encounter. I want most of these things to go away. I like the idea in very niche scenarios, but I see it being abused over and over again.
I feel like this is something that something as powerful as like a deity should have, not a player character.
Right.
That also being said, this technically wouldn't work on demons because they are not rules as written. They're not from hell. They're not from the hells.
Yeah, it's true. It says it came back from the hell, so it would only work on devils.
Yeah. So that's a thing.
Yeah. The other thing I don't see it coming into play. I think
it's too instant success-y because there's a lot of spells that you cast and they like the ones because like there are things where it's you win.
You know what you could do? Make it only work on a certain challenge rating. So then that way it's like, oh, I can get rid of some of the cannon fodder kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then if the DM knew you had that, they could add a bunch of little low-level demons so then the player feels cool.
Oh yeah, or you're fighting the villain who's a warlock and it's like, say goodbye to your familiar, boom.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and then that way you're not getting rid of boss encounter kind of stuff. But you also feel cool kind of using it, and you're getting rid of cannon fodder kind of a thing.
Now,
so I'm like, if you had that limitation, then I'd be more lenient towards that.
The one thing I find interesting is, the other thing too, is limit who can cast this. Literally everybody can cast this.
I would limit it to a cleric.
To a cleric, maybe a bard, if that. But
no, I would just do a cleric and any subclasses that get access to cleric spells.
Okay, yeah, and then they
like
also,
a divine soul sorcerer, for instance.
But then they also included Eldritch Knight and Arcane Trickster. Even
they can't cast at level 6.
Yeah, they'll never be able to cast that. It's at level 6, so
yeah. But I would definitely keep it level 6.
Yeah. All right, another Platyboss one. The guy who made Melding and Killsteel. This is 9th.
And like one thing you could do is like if you cast that at 9th level with that last one, if you cast that at 9th level, you can allow like challenge rating 5 demons, which that's like your Balgura and things like that.
And the Vrock and stuff.
Which is pretty decent, and that's at 9th level. You just instantly send away 7 things.
Yeah, but as for sending away 7 things as 9th level, yeah. And
that's at level 17, so you're going to be doing crazy stuff anyways. So. Yeah.
All right. But we have this one. 9th level, the Great Slapping Plague. 9th level, you need a minute to cast it. It's 300 feet, centered on yourself, verbal, somatic, and material. Instantaneous. It's the School of Enchantment. There's no save for it. You continuously facepalm yourself over the course of a minute, taking 10d4 psychic damage and 10d4 bludgeoning damage. He even calculated the averages. Nice.
Yeah.
At the end of the minute, any creature within 300 feet of you suddenly feels the urge to facepalm and must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d10 psychic and 1d10 bludgeoning damage. And then any creature within 300 feet of them repeats the effect. And then any creature within 300 feet of them repeats the effect. And so on and so forth.
Hence the plague.
You cannot be affected by this spell after you've cast it.
I'm just imagining the meme of the whole groups of people.
The day of the incident.
Meanwhile, that other dude's just dead.
Okay. I only have one complaint about this. It's a wizard and warlock spell. How is this not on the bard spell list?
Yeah, right? This should just be bard.
Platyboss, this is a bard spell.
This is definitely a bard spell.
Oh boy. All right.
That's hilarious. Just go to the middle of a city and cast that. It's not going to kill most... Actually, wait, what are we talking about? That could potentially kill that could potentially kill a lot of people because there's a lot of peasants with very low health. You could wipe out a good chunk of a city with that. I'm down. That sounds like fun.
All right, here we go. We got this with Sacred Treasure I Summon. It's fourth
What's
level.
that in reference to? Do you know what that's in reference to?
I have no idea.
It sounds familiar.
First of all, I want to make this clear. This spell is used for more than summoning Divine General Maagora. Who's Divine General?
That sounds so familiar.
Duh. It's the guy that Megami summons that fights Sukuna.
Yeah, there we go. No wonder it sounds familiar.
Yeah. Okay. You can summon practically anything equal to or above CR8. More specifically,
level 4?
A 4th level spell, so you have to be at least level 7. That's a boss monster for your party immediately. Specifically, you can only summon monsters with the CR up to twice the spell slot level of the spell with a minimum CR of 8 and a maximum CR of 18.
Oh.
That's a bit much. I'm
going to summon an ancient dragon.
Yeah, no. I would start
And it lasts until dispelled? No.
No. You touch the loot used in the casting and chant the words. The GP then disappears and the monster appears. Oh, okay. Here's actually, you must face said monster in combat.
Okay.
Upon defeating the monster, assuming you don't get TPK'd in the process, you get the ability to cast the spell and summon the monster as an ally. You do not require the GP offering when casting the spell on a monster you've already beaten with this spell. Okay. Okay. I really like this. Not as a spell. No.
Well, listen. Read the next line too.
As an ally, the monster cannot use legendary or lair actions, and its health is halved. Now, but think about this, Andrew. You can repeat when it dies. You can repeatedly summon it again with the same spell slot if you with it. But here's the thing. I feel like this should not be a spell. No, hear me out.
Yeah.
This needs to go beyond being a spell and just be a straight up subclass.
I could get behind that. I would limit it though and not allow for a double CR rating though.
No. It should be lower than what you're doing. But
even having it match is saying a lot.
Yeah, no. I would say like maybe halved.
I don't know, because the challenge rating is kind of weird.
It's kind of weird because there's some that are really broken. Some that
if you're using a 9th level for a level challenge rating 4, that is a waste of a 9th level spell slot.
No. I'm talking as a I'm talking as a subclass because we've already discussed this.
Dude, yeah, the bard, the monster bard.
Yeah, this is basically what I had in mind for the monster bard.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's kind of what I was saying. I'd hope you picked on it sooner, but you're a disappointment.
yeah, I didn't. Dude, I imagined
so bad.
I imagined Erica's artwork. That's what made me think of it. That bard with the stuff.
Yeah. The
secret stuff.
Your beta drawing for the College of Monsters bard.
Ah, yeah.
All right.
That was fun.
Next up, we have Your New Home, Purely a Joke.
All right, let's see this.
All right. Second level, 1 action, 20-foot range, verbal, instantaneous, divination. All right. You tell a target within 20 feet of you unbelievable news as your action. At first, nothing happens. At the end of their next turn, they realize what you have just said, and they receive psychic damage equal to your charisma score and become stunned until the start of the next turn. The spell has no effect against deafened. Oh my gosh. So basically it's like, you just won a new car. And then they're in stunned silence. They're in shock. Yeah. So if you put Oprah in your D&D game, give her this spell. All right, Command Daemon. Looks like not a lot of people have rated this. Yeah, nobody's rated this yet, but a small handful of people have seen it. Let's see. 3rd level, it's an action, 160-foot range, verbal and somatic, duration 1 hour, School of Enchantment. It's a wisdom save, and it's a charm one. One daemon you can see within range makes a constitution or wisdom saving throw. It does so with disadvantage. Okay, first off, never give them the choice. If you give them the choice to succeed, if you give them the choice of which saving throw to do, then don't, never do that, because then you're so unlikely to succeed.
It's like giving yourself disadvantage, basically.
Yeah. It does make up for it, saying it does the save with disadvantage. On a failed save, the target is forced to tell you its name and only listens to its name when said by you until the spell ends or until your allies damage it. The affected daemon will protect you at all costs, and if you are hit by an attack, it can move its movement speed towards you and attack the attacking creature if it is in range of its attacks. That's a lot of the word attack.
Yeah.
This is a bonus action. When the spell ends, you can choose whether the target is destroyed or attacks the nearest creature that is hostile towards you. Okay.
I feel like that's a little bit dangerous, though, because demons already have weird effects if you give them their true names and all that.
Not only that, that is really strong for an hour and a 3rd level spell slot, because it doesn't specify how strong the daemon is. The only benefit it can do is choose which saving throw it wants to make.
Yeah.
I would say what I would do.
Yeah, no, I don't think the demon should be able to give you its name.
And not only that, it also kind of doesn't work because a lot of demons, especially when you get to higher, are immune to charm.
True.
And so it doesn't. This spell is like a living contradiction. And then, of course, literally dominating a thing. Basically, just do this is just dominate monster, but more powerful at a lower spell slot. Just get dominate monster.
Yeah.
Once again, what you want to do is already done in the game.
Right.
I like the idea and like the lore implications of learning the daemon's name, but I feel like learning the daemon's name as well kind of makes you miss out on storytelling opportunity too of trying to discover it.
True. Or using sly tactics like Zone of Truth.
Yeah. All right, let's see this one. In parentheses, better Storm of Vengeance, which is concentration. 9th level, a minute to cast, and it's concentration for a minute. A turning storm cloud forms for the duration, centered on a point within range, and spreading to a radius of half a mile. Each creature under the cloud, when it appears, is deafened for 1 minute and must succeed on a con save, or take 20d6 thunder damage, half as much on a success.
A half a mile?
That's a 9th level spell.
Still.
Remember, you're casting Wish at this point.
Yeah, I know, but
until the
2,500 feet is crazy.
Until the spell ends, the area is difficult terrain and heavily obscured. Ranged attacks with weapons are impossible here, and strong winds blow through the area. Additionally, all bodies of water beneath the storm are frozen solid to a depth of 30 feet. Any creature within the water beneath the storm when it is cast, and at a depth not greater than 30 feet, automatically take an additional 10d6 cold damage and 10d6 force damage, are restrained by the frozen water and begin to suffocate if they were fully submerged. At the start of each of your later turns, the storm produces the different effects as detailed below. Even a number of creatures equal to your wisdom modifier are immune to the effects of the spell. Turn 2, acidic rain falls. Each creature and object under the cloud takes 10d6 acid damage. So this is an existing spell. They just went and upped the damage insanely. Because this spell exists. So when they said they made
distance.
Yeah, when they said they made it better, they just upped the damage, which, I mean, the lower
it's already insane as is.
The lower damage of the spell, and I know it's a 9th level spell, but the lower damage of the spell is countered by its insane range.
Right.
Like, this is a spell that this isn't a spell that is supposed to kill your big boss monster, which is what it looks like you're trying to make it. The original,
but it's also going to kill everything.
Yeah, no. This is the spell originally is to break apart an army. It did not need the buff. This was to completely decimate an army of minions, not kill the boss. Because this will do that and kill the boss, which just doesn't work. This didn't need.
Also, it will kill all the good people too.
Yeah. All right. And then from the same person, Sarah Vorn, he made a better version of Weird. 9th level, illusion, wisdom save. You try to create illusory terrors in others' minds. Select a number of creatures you can see, up to 3 times your proficiency modifier. Force him to make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 10d10 psychic damage and has both the frightened and blinded conditions are subjected to confusion for the duration, as illusory terrors manifest about them on all sides. On a successful save, target takes half as much damage only. Targets affected by
That's 150 that's 150 d10 psychic damage.
And once again, I know it's a 9th level spell, but it's too much.
Yeah,
you took something that was already good and just made it way too much.
Way too much.
Because think about it, Power Word Kill is a 9th. Like, let's look at Power Word Kill real quick. So 9th level spells. You have all these things. So
we'll pull up Weird.
Yeah,
just pull up Weird.
Drawing on a creature's deep spheres, a group of creatures, visible only to them. Each creature in a 30-foot radius sphere centered on a point of your choice within range must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature becomes frightened for the duration. The illusion calls on the creature's deepest fears, manifesting its worst nightmares as an implacable threat. At the end of each of the frightened creature's turns, must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 4d10 psychic damage. On a successful save, the spell ends for that creature. This is much more balanced because, one, you can't just be like, I target everything on the battlefield. No, it's everything in range. So you have to group up the enemies together.
Right.
The damage is insanely good. They are not blinded. They're only frightened.
And it keeps on doing that 4d10 damage.
Yeah.
As long as they fail the save.
This is ridiculously powerful on its own. Neither of these spells needed a buff. This to me just reeks of a power gamer to me, where they just want to
maximum damage.
Yeah, maximum damage on everything. There's more than just
damage.
I'm
like, yeah, because I don't. Is your proficiency bonus +5 at level 17?
Something like that, somewhere between like 5 and 7.
Yeah, which if you're doing times 3 of that, even if it's just 5, that's 15 targets at 10d10 psychic damage.
Yeah. But Sarah Bourne, both of those are just way too strong. I think, honestly, if you want to get,
if I were to increase, I would increase the because the Weird is good, don't get me wrong, but I do feel like Weird does need a little bit of a buff, and I would probably say it takes it at the start of its turn if I were to switch up anything on there rather than the end. Just that way it's a little, because it is a 9th level spell. I'm getting rid of other crazy 9th level spells.
But here's the thing, Andrew. You're also forgetting they're frightened. Their speed is 0. They cannot move, and literally everything they do has disadvantage on top of taking 4d10 on every turn. And that's
if they fail.
And that's if they fail. And that's in That's a group
Does
of
it do?
enemies in the sphere.
Does it do 4d10? Excuse me. Does it do 4d10 initially as well if they fail? I can't remember.
No.
But they become frightened and do all that. Unless you're immune to being frightened. Does that spell just not work on them if they're immune to being frightened?
I guess, yeah.
Which, unfortunately, that's most creatures at higher levels.
Yeah. But as is, the spell didn't really need a buff. The only buff I could see it needs is it bypasses.
I think what I would do is like still allow for the damage to occur, but they don't get the frightened effect.
But the spell doesn't need to change. That's just a DM rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even still, both of those are just way too.
Ooh,
way too
Moonlight
much.
Blade.
All right.
Hopefully, this is a From Software reference.
The second. No, this is Children of the Moon campaign.
Oh, never mind. I got excited.
Bonus action to cast, lasts 10 minutes and second level. You weave strands of moonlight to evoke a spectral blade that shimmers with a radiant energy. This magic sword lasts until the spell ends. It counts as a simple melee weapon with which you are proficient. The blade deals 2d8 radiant damage on a hit and has the finesse, light, and thrown properties. Range of 20 to 60. So it's like Shadow Blade, so you will use your strength or dexterity for it.
Right.
So this would be for an Eldritch Knight or Arcane Trickster.
Right.
It emits a dim light in a 10-foot radius. If you drop the weapon or throw it, it dissipates at the end of the turn. Thereafter, while the spell persists, you can use a bonus action to cause the blade to reappear in your hand. When you wield the spell under a moonlit sky, the Moonlight Blade gains additional enchantments depending on the current phase of the moon.
Interesting.
New Moon. The blade is nearly imperceptible, granting you advantage on attack rolls made with the Moonlight Blade. Okay. Arcane Trickster. That is freaking dope.
Yeah.
Waxing Crescent. The blade can flash with concentrated light. The creature you hit with the Moonlight Blade must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be blinded until the end of its next turn. First quarter. The blade pulses with balanced energy. The harmonized light and dark of the first quarter moon provide protection and stability. You gain a +2 bonus to AC while wielding the Moonlight Blade. Okay. Waxing Gibbous. The blade's power arcs to a nearby foe. When you hit a creature with a Moonlight Blade, radiant energy leaps to another creature of your choice that you can see within 10 feet of the target, dealing radiant damage equal to your spellcasting modifier. Full Moon. The blade's radiant energy is at its peak, dealing an additional 2d8 radiant damage on a hit. Waning Gibbous.
48 damage a hit at the second level is pretty crazy.
Yes, but you're also using it on somebody that, because it's pretty much the same for Shadow Blade, but you're not really going to be using Shadow Blade on people who get multiple attacks too much.
True.
Yeah, this is for Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard, so...
Okay, well, there you go, then. That's fine.
Yeah. Full Rune.
Because you only get one attack, so...
Yeah. Waning Gibbous. The blade's light is explosive. When you hit a creature with a Moonlight Blade, you can use your reaction to cause an explosion of light. Creatures of your choice within 10 feet of the target, excluding the target itself, must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, they take 1d8 radiant damage or half as much on a successful save. Additionally, if you use the reaction to cause an explosion, the original target must make a dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone. Last quarter. The blade sharpens your senses. You have advantage on perception checks and wisdom saving throws while wielding the Moonlight Blade. Additionally, you gain +2 bonus to initiative rolls. Waning Crescent. The blade is shrouded in a ghostly glow. When you hit a creature with the Moonlight Blade, you regain hit points equal to half the radiant damage dealt. Blue Moon. The blade becomes a conduit for powerful magic. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with the Moonlight Blade, You can cast a cantrip as an additional action. Furthermore, once per turn, you can teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 30 feet after hitting a creature with the Moonlight Blade. That's really cool. And Blood Moon. The blade radiates with vitality. You have advantage on constitution checks and saving throws while wielding the Moonlight Blade. Additionally, you gain temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability modifier at the start of each of your turns. So it's like a Twilight Cleric thing. At higher levels, when you cast the spell using a 3rd or 4th level spot, the damage increases to 3d8. When you cast it using a 5th or 6th level slot, damage increases to 48. 7th level or higher, 5d8.
So there's a couple of things that I would adjust here. So first one is I would add a note at the bottom for a DM discretion kind of a thing because I'm like, I love the idea of it, but making the DM keep track of the phases of the moon would be really annoying.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Basically, but some DMs wouldn't mind.
And it looks like this is in a campaign where that's the thing going on.
Right, exactly. So like in a campaign where in those kinds of settings where it makes sense and like if the DM's on board with it, I think it's awesome. I love that idea. But I think a good alternative to that is just there's 10 of them. Just do a D10. You roll a D10. And it does the effect. And then if you do that option, I would switch it for the last quarter. Instead of doing a +2 bonus to initiative rolls, maybe like a +2 to attack or something. +1 to hit. Or something like that. Just because casting it, it's like... you're going to get a lot less use out of it if you're doing rolling a D10.
Yeah, but...
Because you're only really going to be... How often would you prematurely be casting this? Because like if you know it's the phase of the moon, you know what phase of the moon it is, you could preemptively be doing it if you're in a dangerous area because it lasts 10 minutes. But if you're not and it's a chance thing, then if you're doing the roll of rolling a D10, I would switch the initiative roll.
Yes, but you're also this is also only when you're under the moonlit sky, so you have to be fighting outside at night. So if you're indoors, it's literally just the 2d8 radiant damage. I
know.
And
yeah,
so,
I'm just saying because the D10 is random.
Yeah.
You can't preemptively plan for it. That's what I'm saying. If you're doing the D10 rule, I would change the +2 initiative to something else. If you're doing the phases of the moon, then yeah, it's great. I would keep it.
It's like yes, but the duration is 10 minutes. So I would just say keep that the same, even if you're just rolling randomly, because you're still getting the main part of the spell out of it, and it lasts for 10 minutes. So if you know there's going to be combat, but you haven't started combat yet, you can cast it, and then it'll help you right at the start of combat.
Sure.
And you're also concentrating on it,
if you get that one.
Could drop. Yeah, it could drop and all that stuff. So I would say just have it be random, but just keep everything the same. Other than that,
the other thing I would do is I would also do, instead of doing 3rd and 4th, I would do it more like the summoned weapon or whatever it's called. And so I would just do 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th. Not do 3rd, 5th, 7th, and so on. Mm-hmm. Just 2nd level, and then you can use a 3rd level, but it's still going to be cast at 2nd. Instead of going up, I'd have it go down. 3d8 at 4th level, 4d8
at 4th and 5th level. I agree. Yeah, because that's how the old spiritual weapon worked.
And the fact that it lasts 10 rounds and has the extra effect,
lasts 10
I think
minutes.
That's fair. Sorry, yeah, 100 rounds, and does that? I think that's a fair.
The thing is though, if you're using it, even if you're throwing it, you're still gonna be in relatively close range. Yeah, and it is concentration.
Isn't it 20-60?
Yeah. So
yeah,
beyond 20, it's at disadvantage, and beyond 60, you just can't.
But honestly, I feel like it needs very little modification. I would just add that little note, and then I'm like, I play
just basically roll a d10 if the DM isn't keeping track of the moon's phases.
Yep.
And then, yeah, this one is just really cool. I really like this one.
I like that. And there's a lot of thought that went into it. They even have like the little images and everything.
There's a lot of thought that went into it. I really like it. I don't know.
You should give it an upvote.
The thing is I don't know if this person actually made it yet. Using the Children of the Moon campaign. We'll have to look that up. But
I like it.
One final one.
All right.
That's discontinued, apparently. He's no longer selling it. All right. Failure. He's a failure. He's a failure. All right.
That's like same energy as Cat in the Hat. Fired.
Okay.
Failure.
This one is
failure.
This one is literally just a chromatic orb, but it's a paladin smite instead of an orb. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Solid. It's great.
One bonus action.
I have zero complaints about this. This one is just awesome. Just give the paladin a bunch of extra different damage types to play with to exploit weaknesses.
I think instead of making it a spell, though, I would add a subclass. And then just give it to that subclass of paladin.
It's harder with paladins because it's like... Because the paladin, their subclasses are their oaths. And it's like, what's Oath of the Dragon Paladin? What does that mean?
They like money.
Yeah, maybe Oath... Yeah, an Oath of Greed Paladin. But you already have Oath of Conquest, Oath of...
Yeah.
All that stuff. I think just keep this... Honestly, I think this one just have it as a spell. Because it's like... I think paladins just don't have enough to tie them too much to dragons. Because I know if like a dragon subclass existed for paladins, I would flavor it into something completely different. Because the only oath is I swear loyalty to my dragon, and that would be it.
Right.
It just doesn't work. There's no real tenets you could do with it.
Unless you look up the tenets of already written ones. But it's the only thing I could think of, like the religion of Bahamut, the religion of Tiamat, kind of a thing. The cults.
Yeah, but it's just...
But like outside of that, I can't really think of too much.
I think this one is honestly just perfect as is. I like this one. This one's great.
Cold, fire, lightning, or radiant. It says attack, save, ranged.
I don't know what that means.
The ranged attack. Cast it on yourself. Cast it on yourself from a distance.
My mind was elsewhere, but I still casted it. Alright, well that's the whole page.
Alright, only 8,000 more to go.
Dude, my brain is so fried. I'm struggling today. Yeah, that would have been a horrible episode if we were to play D&D. That would have been a sucky episode.
I guess we're gonna go break in. There's this creepy little doll skeleton thing chasing ghost.
Just roll initiative.
Oh, it's not just a skeleton anymore.
Can we see a sneak? Can the stream see a sneak peek?
I don't know if I can show it to the stream.
Okay.
Like ability wise, not.
Oh, like hold it up to the camera and then have it maybe go into the void.
I don't think it'll work, but
probably
I
not.
can try. Yeah, it just goes into the void. Oh, there it is.
Maybe I should stay in the void. I changed my mind.
Yeah,
Happy Halloween,
my
I
next
guess.
cryptic message to you was teeth.
Bones and teeth.
All right. I am
It's got
curious though.
substance
I want to see the bottom of the barrel.
Just the very, very bottom one.
Yep.
The best one's called origami.
I honestly thought it was called Bottom of the Barrel, and you were talking about a spell you saw called Bottom of the Barrel.
All right. Apparently, the lowest rated one.
-9
Minus 9. Religious Gathering. Takes 10 minutes to cast it, so it's a ritual, lasts 12 hours. As a non-combat action, the caster can cast a spell to summon their religious god. The religious god can only be summoned in a religious format, chapel, church, etc. The religious god will offer blessings and guidance to those who seek it. This is like the cleric's 18th level ability.
Yeah, and I gotta do it at first level.
Any evil alignment within 10 feet of the god must make a DC 20 con saving throw, or have their alignment set to lawful good for 1d10 hours. The god will not engage in any combat unless a religious format is being overrun by evil alignments. The god that the caster has summoned will only be available for 12 hours. It cannot leave the religious area. Only for 12 hours.
That's it, though.
First level spell, you can contain a god in your local church for 12 hours. It can't leave for a first level spell. And then one thing I really don't like is alignment stuff.
Yeah, I don't like alignment stuff.
But
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
yeah, the god will not
8,
engage
9,
in any
10.
combat unless the religious format is being overrun by evil alignments. So, let me get this straight. Because this is for an Oath of Conquest paladin specifically, but so let me get this straight. I could sick a horde of zombies on you. You flee to the church for shelter and barricade yourselves in. And then the level 2 paladin summons a god that will be there for 12 hours to kill anything that tries to attack the church.
Here's the kicker, though. Even if I stayed at level 7, if I didn't sleep for 6 days, no long rest involved, I could keep him trapped there for 5.5 days at level 7 with no sleep, without needing to rest. Keep in mind, I could do that and then rest and still have him for 4 hours.
Yeah, this one,
Wow.
I don't.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
We should implement it. I want Bahamut.
Yeah, there's no. Dude, literally, the paladin can summon a god immediately, but the cleric has to wait till like freaking 17th or 18th level to get a divine
But don't worry,
favor.
they can't help with combat
unless
things are attacking you.
Yeah, they can't help with combat unless something else
Unless
starts
I
a
summon
fight.
him in a combat zone.
Yeah, no,
He can't help unless you summon him in combat.
Yeah, basically, he won't engage in combat unless somebody picks a fight in the church parking lot.
No, they have to be evil aligned. I don't like alignments though.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
Oh, that's all good. I think it's flawless.
Alrighty, well, we're nearing on the 2-hour mark. I am struggling.
Yeah.
We made it through the page and we looked at the lowest rated one.
I think that's good. Actually, I'm really curious. I want to look at one more. I want to do one more. Do the origami one. I want to see that one.
You want to see the highest rated
highest
spell?
rating? It's got 1,500 upvotes.
Right. It's a cantrip.
Origami.
You magically fold and animate a tiny piece of paper or similar material such as a leaf within range. You can fold it into one of the following shapes. Boat. The boat floats on and is not destroyed by water. When placed in water, you can mentally direct the boat to move in any direction along the water's surface at a speed of 5 feet per round. The boat is able to carry a single tiny object that weighs 1 pound or less. Crane. The crane has a fly speed of 10 feet. You can mentally direct the crane to move or name a location within 1 mile you know of. The crane will fly to the location and land, becoming inert. Creative application. Write a letter, turn it into the crane, and send it.
Yeah.
It's only
Yeah.
a mile, so that doesn't seem like that's not super overpowered.
Yeah.
Dog. The dog has a movement speed of 10 feet. You can mentally direct the dog to move, and it's the speed of 10 feet. It's going to take a while for it to finish that mile.
Right.
If a creature hostile to you moves within 10 feet of the dog moves up to its speed towards it and gives off a loud barking noise. Afterwards, the dog unfolds itself and becomes inert. It just barks. Barking doesn't do anything, it just does it. Flower. The flower is controlled by the time of day. It is open during the day and closed during the night. During sunrise and sunset, the flower slowly opens and closes respectively. And Samurai. The Samurai has a movement speed of 5 feet. You can mentally direct the Samurai to move. The Samurai always points his sword in the direction of the nearest castle or fort.
Oh my gosh.
You can have
that's
up to
just
5.
like Kubo and the Two Strings.
That is cool. Okay.
That's just like Kubo and the
We're
Two
adding
Strings.
that.
That's awesome.
I'm just adding that.
Yay!
You guys can use that spell now. Yeah.
Yes!
That is
Sweet.
freaking dope. To the nearest castle or fort. It's so specific. But in the right circumstance, suddenly it becomes so useful.
And it's just a cool little one.
It's
I love
so
it.
cool. Oh, that's a great spell to end it on.
Yeah, I like that one.
Whew. All right. Okay. So, I'm gonna sign off because, sorry guys, I am struggling so hard today. I've not been feeling good. You know it's bad when at our job I get sent home early. That never happens at our job.
Right.
So, yeah, we're gonna call it for tonight. We'll be back next week, and hopefully we'll all be rested and healthy
Not
enough
sick.
to play actual D&D. But we'll be back then.
Still
with
gonna be
more oddities.
and I'll still be adding some new things to the store either tomorrow or Friday. So keep an eye out. Check out D4Tress.com because gonna add some new stuff there and then some other fun things in the next week or two.
And of course, thank you to D4Fan and Brennan for supporting us with your brilliant generosity.
Not your regular generosity though, just the brilliant stuff.
Yeah, we don't want any of that normal stuff. Ugh.
Brilliant only.
Only brilliance here. We only accept the highest quality of generosity.
Unacceptable.
But yeah,
I'm tired.
Thank you to everybody. And I know, I'm so fucking tired.
I'm just chilling and y'all are dying.
No. And a shout out to Erica for working on a ton of artwork while we're here. Whether we can use it or not.
It's just one and it's completely
He's just-
unrelated to what I should be doing.
Oh my gosh.
It's terrifying is what it is.
Thanks.
It's
I
Halloween.
tried.
It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you to everybody who tuned in, who popped in for a little moment, but we are going to head on out. Take care. I'm probably going to go puke my guts out, so I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.